talk about compound interest determining it in present value. Listen closely and So today guys, our goal is to solve problems that include calculating the principal that must be invested today and to obtain a given amount in the future. Was that good?
Yeah, I didn't listen, but yeah, sounded good.
So we're going to be showing you 2 examples on how to find. Okay, so we're going to show you 2 examples of how to find the present value using compound interest.
What is compound interest? Compound interest is when money is borrowed or invested. The interest is added on to the principal after a previously set period of time. After the same period of time, interest is calculated again. This time, it is calculated on the new amount, which includes the principal and interest. This procedure continues for the entire term of the loan or investment. This is the main formula we'll be using to find the present value. And this is just the modified version of the main formula. To get the modified version of the formula, you must divide a by the denominator, and there you will have a negative exponent. In order to complete the formula, you must know what A, I, P, and N stand for. A equals final amount, I equals interest rate per compound period, P equals principal or initial rate, and N total number of compound periods. To calculate I, use I equals R over N, where R is the annual interest rate and N is the number of times interest is paid per year, called the compound period. This is a list of the vocabulary that will be used in questions, which will help you determine N. If the period is annual, then N equals 1, interest paid once a year. If the period is semi-annual, N equals 2, twice a year. Quarterly, 4 times a year. Monthly, 12 times a year. Bi-weekly, 26 times a year. Weekly, 52 times a year. And daily, 365 times a year. To calculate the value of N, use N equals N times Y, where Y is the number of years. Okay, let's start with our first example. An investment earns 7 3/4%, compounded semi-annually. Determine the present value if the investment is worth $800 5 years from now. For this question, we'll be using the modified version of the main formula, which is A bracket 1 plus I bracket negative exponent. The amount of the investment is $800, and that is what will replace A in the formula. Now we are going to calculate I, using the I equals R over N formula. The annual interest rate is 7 3/4%. We always want to convert percentages to decimals, and in this case it is 0.0775. And divide by the compound period, which is 2, because in the question it said semi-annually, and semi-annually means 2 times a year. So the interest rate per compound period equals to 0.03875. The next step is to calculate the value of N by multiplying 5 times 2, where 5 comes from the number of years in the question. This equals to 10. Now substitute the values of A, I, and N and evaluate P. Here we already did 1 plus 0.03875. And your final answer should be 546.99. Therefore, the present value of the investment is $546.99. Let's start on the second example.
Tony has $3,000 in a savings account.
He intends to buy a laptop, computer, and printer and invest the remainder for 2 years, compounding monthly at an annual interest rate of 3%. He wants to have $2,000 in his account 2 years from now. How much can he spend on the laptop and printer?
For this example, we will be using P equals A over bracket 1 plus I bracket exponent. The future value of the investment is $2,000, and the annual interest rate is 0.03. Dividing it by the monthly rate, which is 12, equaling it to 0.0025. Now multiply the number of years by 12 to calculate the number of compounding periods, which equals to 24. Now substitute the numbers into the formula. Your answer should be 1883.67. The present value is $1,883.67. Now all we need to do is determine the amount of Tony's savings that he needs to keep invested to reach $2,000 in 2 years. Whatever he has left after this amount is what he can spend. To find out the amount that can be spent, use the amount in savings account minus the present value. So subtract $3,000 to $1,883.67, which is the present value. This should equal to $1,116.33. Therefore, Tony can spend $1,116.33 on a laptop and printer.
You got this! I finally got it.